Dave, and Dave is on the air after a brief hiatus.
Brief. Dave Areno. Um, yes, been out of touch for a couple weeks, but we're back.
I kind of wish we had
Uh,
been on the air there for the Super Bowl since we had it nailed.
nailed
No,
tight shut.
no.
We nailed that baby. We nailed Seattle. Capped off a great
Get a
football
little bit.
season. Definitely a congratulations goes out to Dave and Dave. Not that we're back slappers, back thumpers, which we're not. But we had an awesome college football season. We did really well in the pros. We did great in college football bowl games. And yeah, we capped it off with the Seattle victory. And now we're going for college hoops. Hopefully, our warm up period is over and we start to get hot.
Percentages have been good lately. It's just been the execution has not been as
Your percentages, your YOUR, you and your 2 out of 3 parlays, you're knocking them
yeah,
dead.
too many 2 out of 3.
That's 2 out of 3.
No,
Um, I'm
that's
not
two
doing,
out of three.
but we need Dave to turn this thing around. And yeah, March Madness is coming up. We got the conference championships coming up. I know you got a couple of kickball games. We're going to talk a little bit about the NBA and World Cup this summer is going to be awesome. We're going to be heavy into the soccer tournament, the famous World Cup. It's going to be prime time. So, yeah, we're looking forward to you to pull your weight there, lad.
All righty. Sounds good. We're not really going to recap much because we've been out of touch here for a
We've
couple.
already done that.
Yeah, we talked about the Super Bowl, talked about what we've been looking at as far as college basketball goes. Now we're going to look at a really, really good slate of games coming up this weekend on Saturday for college basketball. Want to take a look across the pond at a little kickball action?
Aye, lad. Bring it on, lad.
And we've got some cool Olympic stuff going on, although like the hockey is pretty much wrapping up right before my eyes right now.
One
USA is
nothing.
up 1-0 early in the semifinal, and how do you think they're going to do against? Well, if they win this game, how do you think they're going to do against Canada in the final? What do you think?
An incredible comeback for Canada, down 2-0,
Yeah.
and to win it, to tie it in the final seconds, to win it in OT. I think that's a huge momentum boost. But this USA team, as I'm watching them now, they got such great defense. Uh,
Oh,
they're incredible. But that's the women you were watching there. They're going.
yeah, there's a highlight of the women's game.
Yeah.
This is a great move. It looked like
Oh no, I love it.
it was
I love it.
a play. Anyway,
We've become avid curling fans, and
they have to. They put it on every day.
well, that one gal from Milan, from
Oh,
Italy,
that's your girlfriend, right?
yeah, she's top notch,
You're over the
top
curler.
notch.
Top notch, top notch.
Her and Lacey Underalls, those are my favorites. So 1 and 2. All right, Big D, give us a couple. Whoa, you wanted my little quick prediction? Yeah, I go with the Americans. I think the Kachuk brothers are serious. I think it's going to be a great final.
It's hockey. It's hockey. You bounce
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
Bad call, whatever. I have noticed that too. It doesn't seem like the officiating's been too horrendous in these
No.
games. Seems like it's been
No.
pretty good.
They're letting them play. Yeah. A lot of chippiness. There's a lot of checking. There's a lot
That
of
was always, the European style was always because they don't allow fighting. The guys always got away with the stick play and the dirty play because there's no ramifications of getting your ass kicked like there is in the NHL. But I think now that I don't think it's as bad as it used to be. Some of those guys used to be like Dr. Hook, and Slapshot. Really
McCracken. I think that was McCracken or Ogie Oglethorpe. I don't know which one. But you and I are old time hockey. Come on. And we brought the foil.
I read a thing recently that Oglethorpe was the guy who actually wrote that screenplay. The guy who played Oglethorpe is actually the guy who wrote Flash. That's fantastic. That makes it even better. It was already great. Now it's even greater. All right, I'm looking at kickball across the pond. We're getting back into the Premier League this weekend. A little break this week. They had some Champions League games, whatnot. There was a weird game the other day where Arsenal, trying not to lock up the title for the Premier League, they played, just a terrible team, and they ended up drawing. They didn't get the full 3 points out of that. So everybody's in England is talking about how Arsenal's going to try to figure out how to choke. It's been odd though. It seems to me like almost everybody at the top, with maybe the exception of Man U, has been playing well now for quite a while. But the other teams at the top all seem to be saying, "Oh no, after you, we don't want to take this thing." And I'm actually going against one of those teams that I feel has not been playing terribly well recently. And they're playing a team that I just think has been sort of a tough customer all year. And that's a game on Saturday between Aston Villa is at home and they're playing Leeds. Now, Leeds is generally tougher at home than they are on the road. I'm looking at a draw here. I think it's pretty attractive. I just think that Leeds has been in virtually every game they've been played in this year. They've only had a couple of times when they got blown out. And Aston Villa isn't the kind of team to blow out. Aston Villa has been doing fall behind by a goal and then come back all year long. So it's going to be hard to get blown out by them. I just like the general trend of the two teams. I think that Villa has been down a little bit recently. I think that Leeds is still playing hard every week. I think they're almost certainly going to avoid relegation back down in the Championship League. So I'm looking at a draw there in that game. Aston Villa at home against Leeds plus 260 for the draw. Second game I'm looking at is a really good matchup because Fulham has been hot. They're one of the hotter teams in the Premier League right now, as a matter of fact. But again, part of that is because the top teams haven't been rolling lately. They've been, losing here and there, a draw here and there against teams that they should beat. So Fulham's actually one of the hotter teams in the league. I dislike going against them, but I'm going with a team that I've been on all year. Another team. I'm going with two teams that got promoted to Premier League this year. First is Leeds. Second is Sunderland. Sunderland at home. And I got them to win this game outright. Although the draw might be the way to go because they have had a number of draws at home. But do you know that this year, 13 games at home for Sunderland in the Premier League, where they weren't even in the league last year, they were in the Championship League. They have one loss. One. And I think it was to Liverpool. But anyway, one loss. And you could say, their home schedule, they haven't played the big boys at home yet. Oh no, they played some good teams at home, played some good teams at home, and played them really tough. Teams that are better than Fulham. Looking at Sunderland plus 170. That game is basically, they're looking at it as a very even matchup. They also have Fulham at 170, and they have the draw at plus 225. Tempted to go with the draw, but I'm going with my boys, Sunderland at home, plus 170. Keep their home streak going, where they have 7 wins, 5 draws, and only 1 loss all year long.
Very couple impressive. Of nice prices there. Yeah, a couple of very nice prices.
We don't pay that much attention to the NBA on Dave and Dave. We're kind of college basketball fans here, but I know that you've been watching a team recently and you've been very impressed with them, and you're thinking about, they might have some value as far as taking them for the whole bundle. So why don't you talk about your NBA team for a little bit here?
I will. USA just went up 2-0.
Yeah.
Yeah, just real quick. And it's no surprise now. It's no big thing. I just think Detroit is their starting 5 are so quick. We were talking about their defense. They just seem like the top team in the NBA right now. I think they can beat anybody. If I'm not mistaken, they either have the best record or close to, other than Oklahoma City. But
They
you can
got a
get some
lot of wins.
decent. Yeah.
They
I mean,
got
there's
a
a
lot of
couple of
wins.
things you might want to look at.
It's scary.
Yeah, the secret's out. They're plus 170 now to win it all. But I might jump on an MVP with this guy, Cade Cunningham, plus 600. That's gone down, I swear to you, since the last I checked. It was plus 750 like an hour ago.
Huh.
I don't know.
Well,
People
remember
reading
what
my
happened
thoughts
with
or
me
what?
with Strike the Gold? I went to play him at 75-1, and when I got to the window, he was 40-1. Now he won the Derby, but I would have rather had 75-1 instead of 40.
No
So,
doubt about it.
for you
No, that
people
was a
watching
great
the
pick.
Dave and Dave show, you want to jump on this kid to win the MVP? Better do it now.
Exactly. Cade Cunningham, he's a brute. He rebounds, he assists. What was that stat you told me about steals that they average?
Yeah,
Um,
I think they lead the league right now in steals, and they lead the league in blocked shots.
right.
So that's a,
I mean, that
a
tells you
pretty
right
good
there.
defensive combination.
Yeah. They could have beat and they should have beaten the Knicks last year, but they own the Knicks.
Because your
And
guys who block shots don't generally steal the ball, and your guys who
right.
steal the ball don't generally block shots. So to have both, I mean, that must be such a hell of a defensive team.
Yeah. They're aggressive, they're strong, they're young, they're quick.
They
Uh,
kind of
and
last night they kind of just looked like they toyed with the Knicks.
yes, they don't give up offensive rebounds, meaning, you get one shot
That's right.
and
Because
they're
if you're
quicker
shooting
to the
hot, you're
spot.
gonna lose.
Yeah. So I hate to say it, I'm a Knick fan all the way, but
Yeah. Yeah, last
you
night's
know,
game was just sort of like the stronger team prevailed.
in the garden.
Yeah.
So that's my little NBA tidbit, and let's go to the NCAA hardwood. Why don't you start us off, Dave?
All right. Well, it's a great schedule tomorrow. I guess I'm
Awesome.
sort of going to go in like somewhat chronological order. Uh, I'm looking at a favorite right out of the blocks here. I just really like the way Kansas is playing. They've got the phenom back. Cincinnati, I've seen play a couple times this season and did not impress me. Did not impress me at all. Got something making noise here on my screen. I need to get rid of it. Sorry.
No worries.
This one. Yeah. Okay, I got it.
No, that freshman is tough for
Yeah,
Kansas.
and
He's
this
really good,
team is playing.
but he keeps
They
taking
got all
himself
their
out.
bodies
What's
out
up?
there. They kind of got over. They took a couple lumps early in the season, and now they're kind of looking like Kansas with a superstar freshman. Cincinnati, on the other hand, I think that when the going gets tough in this game, and Kansas is at home, it's a ton of points. Don't get me wrong, it's a ton of points, and Cincinnati has this Celestine kid who's pretty good. But I really think when this game starts to get out of hand, it's going to get really out of hand. So like Kansas minus 10.5 over Cincinnati.
Yeah, I like them as well. A little concerned about this kid who keeps taking himself out. He's a phenom, but you know what? If I'm not mistaken, they beat Arizona without this kid. So they got a pretty darn good team. Kansas does. My first pick, I'm heading to Champaign or Urbana. This is a team I'm going to mark right now as my dark horse to get to the Final Four is Illinois. They've really stepped it up in these last few games. I think the coach kind of inspired them to play much better defense. They're playing a UCLA team that I don't know if you watched that last game, but after supposedly
that game was over early.
Yeah, yeah. And for supposedly a flagrant foul, a flagrant foul, the coach kicked his own player out. He didn't even get kicked out of the game, but he got a foul. It turned out that it wasn't a flagrant foul, and the kid was like, "What?" And I don't know. It just seems like there's a lot of a lack of harmony. Let's put it lightly, and a mistrust in the coach. He's not connecting with his players in UCLA. But on the other hand, Illinois is a power. I don't know why you're only getting 5. Those kind of spreads have scared us lately, but I'm going to get on board with Illinois, and they're going out to UCLA on Saturday and give the points, give 5 against the UCLA Bruins.
All right. Me next up. I'm moving down the schedule, and I am looking at a weird ACC game. We saw this game the other night where NC State ended up being favored by quite a few points against North Carolina, and I mean North Carolina's got 2 guys probably get drafted in the first round. I mean, definitely Caleb Wilson will be, and maybe the other kid, Visar, might also get drafted, pretty high. Missing those 2 guys, they couldn't even hang with North Carolina State, who really aren't that good. This is a rematch of a game that was just played less than 2 weeks ago, I think, where Syracuse was getting beat by 30.
Ugh.
7 minutes left in that game. Now, obviously, that shows you that now this was North Carolina at full strength. Okay. North Carolina at full strength, up by 30. Syracuse cut that game to 6 with less than a minute left. Ended up losing the game by 10 or whatever it was. They covered.
They covered.
But they made this crazy comeback.
We turned it off, remember?
It shows me, that they got. It's been a weird season for Syracuse. I mean, I think they have talent, but they're not going anywhere. They're probably not going to be in the big tournament at all, unless they go on some kind of run in the ACC tournament, which is a long shot with the other guys you got to go against. But you got a shorthanded North Carolina team. I have to assume that these 2 guys are out again, since the line is only 2.5. Syracuse getting 2.5, or the other night they were getting, in Carolina, they were getting 15, 16, 17. It might have been 19 in that game. It was big, the big number. 2.5. Syracuse at home against North Carolina. Obviously not looking, when they played NC State the other night, don't look like they can play without their two main guys, which, hey, not many teams can. So I'm taking Syracuse plus 2.5 at home against North Carolina. Try to pile on them, kick them while they're down kind of theory, I guess, on this one. So that's my second pick, is Syracuse.
Yeah, we were benefits. We benefited from that Syracuse comeback, but they looked terrible in the next game where we took 20 off of Duke, and Duke just steamrolled them. I think they won by 40. I'm not sure, but it was up. Yeah. All right, second pick. I'm going to Providence, Rhode Island. Actually, I'm going to Chicago. Providence is visiting DePaul. DePaul's been kind of a covering machine, if you've kept up. But I like Providence. Earlier in the year, I did not, but I had the chance to watch them against UConn. They're a feisty, tough team, and I'll take the 2 points. Take 2 points. I think they're going to outright win in Illinois. On the upper north side where we used to hang, I used to slide a couple beers over your way. Providence
the
plus
old
2.
Hoghead McDonough's on Fullerton. The late great Hogheads. I think it's gone.
Yeah,
last I checked, I think it's gone.
Found a couple of Guinnesses your way. But yeah, they're heading over to DePaul. I don't know if they still play at the Rosemont Horizon. Probably not. But take the 2 points, Providence against DePaul on Saturday.
Okay. Providence has kind of been a covering machine. Oh, I did mean to mention that about Kansas, for all their greatness and for how they're good every year.
Yeah.
Well, I guess because they started off the year a little shaky, and because maybe people didn't appreciate how good this kid is, but hang on, looking forward here. I had a list here. What am I doing with it? Oh, anyway, here it is. Anyway, we've got a couple of teams that we really need to find on the schedule more often. Like Stephen F. Austin is 20-5 against the spread. I mean, he'll
You
take
might have
20 and
mentioned
5 all
it.
day long. Sam Houston, 18-5. Pretty darn good. Both small schools out there in Texas just covering up a storm. Miami,
Bettable.
Ohio, of course, everybody knows about them. I banged my head against the wall a couple times against them.
Play it
I
tonight.
ain't doing it anymore. 17-6 against the number. But of
Nice,
the big
nice.
boys, guys who just covered the other night, even though they did lose the game, but Arkansas 18-8, really playing well, and they're really good. They're really good investment.
We
Uh,
had them last night,
but
and they got a game coming up. They got a good game.
The ball might have evened out a little bit here over the last few games, but
Have
they're
they?
pretty solid against the number this year. And right here on this list, they're showing up at 16, 8, and 2 against the number. But you're going against them. I respect that. Providence against DePaul. And then what I wanted to mention is that Kansas. uh, You don't normally see big time, you know, programs really doing this well against the number because the odds makers normally make it pretty tough for the big boys to
Sure.
cover night in and night out. You know, they'll end up the season, they'll be 30-5 with their straight up record, and then they'll be, 18-17 against the spread. But Kansas is 17-9. I mean,
Nice.
that's practically 2 out of 3. Speaking of 2 out of 3, uh, not bad at all. I'll look at another team that I think was a little bit underrated coming into the season. They dropped off since Jay Wright left as the coach. I think everybody's sort of like, okay, their golden days are behind them. Is Villanova also really good, 17-9 against the spread also. And I know I had them down here, but damn it, I guess I don't have them. I'm going to put them down as a bonus pick here. I'm going to put down Nova. I don't even know what the line is on this one now because I didn't write it down. Nova's
I
playing
think,
Connecticut. I know
yeah,
that.
it's a small line against
Yeah,
UConn. I think
small.
UConn's favored by
Nova at
2 or 3.
home plus a small amount.
Right.
I'm going
Okay.
against UConn. And don't get me wrong, I respect the hell out of UConn. I just think that Villanova has been a little underrated all year. This is their big game to show that they are ready to make some noise. Maybe make some noise in the Big East tournament. Who knows? Maybe even make some noise in the big tournament. So I'm looking at Nova uh, against UConn. So that's a
All
bonus
right.
pick, actually.
I love Jay Wright. He's the only guy that I listen to on
Oh my God,
TNT.
he's so
When he
good. He's
opens
so
his
good on
mouth,
TV. But wow, he was a hell of a coach. I mean,
okay,
that
he's
guy,
great on
he knew what
TV,
he was
bro.
doing.
He analyzes. I've bet with him. Honestly, he's the only person that will sway my opinion. And he was very influential in my picks last year, which I did fairly well. And I listened to him, especially at halftime. I did adjustments. So Jay Wright, Villanova. Okay, bro. My third pick, I'm going to your alma mater, the Colorado Buffs, laying 2
But
at home. Again, I mean, on the road. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I thought they were at home. Let me check that. I'm thinking that they are at home.
I didn't see that game.
Yes, they are at home against the Oklahoma State Cowboys, who are terrible. Colorado's not doing that good, but they're better than the Cowboys from Oklahoma State. Lay the 2. The Buffs like to hang around, especially against, their Big 12 counterparts. They play people tough, especially at home. They cover at home. And I like them laying a small amount, laying 2, laying a bucket against Oklahoma State. Take Colorado.
Right. Oklahoma State had the big win against BYU recently,
They
and I think
did.
people started thinking they were back, but
Yeah,
they stumbled after that. And all right, you like my Buffs? Like
I
me?
do. I do.
Take it to those Cowboys. We're just looking at the new guy for the Mets who played baseball for Oklahoma State. So we like their baseball team, but we're going against their basketball team. Love it. Beautiful. All right, moving down the schedule here. I'm looking at a really good rivalry game. Vanderbilt at home against Tennessee. This is going to be a great game. And I'm thinking that Vandy should be favored by a few more points. And I don't understand why they're only 2.5. Don't seem to have any significant injuries or anything like that. And yeah, I just wanted to make a pick on a fun game. It's going to
Yeah,
be
it's going to be great.
middle of the afternoon, I guess. It's going to be one of those afternoon games. And I'm looking at Vanderbilt minus 2.5 at home over Tennessee.
Righty. I'm just going around the corner here to bet on a team that has foiled me the last two times. Florida, I know, laying a lot, but lay the 9 against Ole Miss. They just lost to their counterpart, Mississippi State, who are terrible. Ole Miss is just falling apart. They looked good earlier in the year. I actually did well on them on a couple of bets, but they can't rebound, they can't defend, and Florida can steamroll. Only problem is Florida goes up by 20 and then takes the foot off the gas. The backdoor covers in the last two
Yeah,
by
they did the last
yeah,
game.
by less than 3 points. I mean, oh, but there's a team that's going to contend for the Final Four. They should be in there. I like them in this spot. Lay the 9. I like Florida to
Yes,
roll.
Florida was the only interesting thing about Florida this year was how they started out kind of slowly.
Yes, they
Like
did.
why? But
Yeah,
anyway, they look like they got all their ducks in a row now, and they're starting to smash people. And they're looking like some of these games, right? It looks like they're all going through the motions, still winning the game by 10 or 15 points. You know, maybe not necessarily covering, which is unfortunate if you're laying a big number with them. But they do sort of they look like they have an awful lot of confidence. I want to see them get into more tussles in games against some tough teams.
yeah.
What
Well,
happens then?
this is not your weekend then to take Florida because
No, they're playing Mississippi.
this should be on the
You're
road.
not going to learn a lot about them here.
Yeah, on the road
Hopefully, they'll
though.
be able to cover a big number for you and not take their foot off the gas. All right, moving down the schedule a little bit here. We were riding these guys last year when it came to totals. We were playing Houston under in almost every game, and we were on a roll last year. They went under like some ridiculous amount of the time.
Yeah, you
And
were the one that noticed
quite
that.
the defensive team that they were last year. They're good, but not quite
Right,
they
right,
were.
right.
But they're playing a team here, Arizona. Everybody knows this is a really good team.
Yes,
What Arizona does is they play good defense, and
yes.
they're relentless. They don't just go back on D and then worry about who's going to get the next bucket. They take that end of the floor very seriously. I think Houston's going to be really challenged to score in this game by Arizona's defense. 139.5, which is, hey, if it's a close game, which is supposed to be a close game, you're talking a 70 to 70 game. Nah, I'm looking more at like a 60 to 60 game, which would take this a good 20 points under the total. So hopefully it doesn't get into some sort of, stupid free throw shooting contest at the end or go overtime or something like that. But I like under in the Arizona Houston game, under 139.5.
Yeah, that's a great synopsis there, Dave. To me, 5 of the best defensive teams in college basketball. It's wild because 4 of them, they're playing each other this weekend. Michigan, Duke, 2 great defensive teams. Arizona, Houston, 2 great defensive teams. And Iowa State, who I think could be the best out of all defensively. They're playing BYU. And I like Iowa State there.
They got to have their defensive shoes on for that one. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think
BYU gets hot. When
Yeah.
BYU gets hot, they're a tough customer. And when they're cold, it's the exact opposite. Of course, they're beatable. They're very beatable. And right, a defense like Iowa State, man, I see where you're going with that one.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. It's going to be a tough game on the road, but that's going to be my last pick. I just kind of changed it in mid Dave and Dave
A little
episode
more
here.
about
So.
it. We got a good 10 minutes left.
Oh, okay.
Probably not gonna make it.
Yeah, right.
No.
No, I love the
Start
way
talking about
Iowa, you look for
it.
the hot teams that are just coming into their own right now. And Iowa State and Michigan seem to be those two teams. Now, Duke just seems infallible. They never have an off night. They got 6, 7 guys that play great defense and like 3 first round draft picks next year. They are so good and well balanced and deep.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned because I decided to make a pick on that game.
Go for it.
I'm going with Michigan.
I would love it.
This is I mean, hey, listen, if Duke can get the job done against these guys, now granted, they got a big edge playing the game at home. But this Michigan team just presents something really bad matchup for everybody. They lost those two big guys.
Yeah.
She said, well, they got the big guy from UCLA, and they have some other size, and they've got guards who can play, and man, that team just goes, and they don't let up. If they can break, they're going to break. Duke's going to have to have the running shoes on in this game. Let's see if they can do it.
Why is that line so low, bro?
They had that game, earlier this year where it looked like they were in control against North Carolina, and then they let it go at the end. It almost looked like they ran out of gas a little bit in that game against Carolina to me. So if that happens again tomorrow, Michigan's going to win this game. I'm taking Michigan, and Michigan favored on the road. I think they might be. I know they're
according to the BPI, it's like Daddy.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I have lines. I have lines on DraftKings, and like if you don't want it, pay off. They find they had a bunch of stuff up for all these big games for tomorrow are already up on the board in the DraftKings, and a couple of good games tonight. We could talk about those. I like Virginia Commonwealth plus 7.5 against St. Louis.
I'm on all your picks that you
St.
picked
yesterday. St. Louis has the ESPN
thinking it was today.
St. Louis has the ESPN jinx going against them because they started talking about how great they were a couple of weeks ago, and since then they've struggled a little bit. And Virginia Commonwealth is really good. I love the points there. Let's see. Billikens at home. And they are a good team, but I'm going to take the points with Virginia Commonwealth. And then there was another good game tonight. Well,
Battle of Indiana.
Yeah, kind of looking at Indiana just because, it's a lot of points.
Yes.
Looking at that, too.
And they look so bad against Illinois.
I don't see who on Purdue is going to stop this Wilkerson guy. This guy scores pretty much everybody. I've seen Indiana play a couple times recently, even in games that they lost, where they're not terrible. They're not terrible. So just hang in there, in-state rivalry game against now the team that's always ranked. Used to be Indiana, always ranked. Purdue was the poor stepchild, having to try to hang with Indiana. Now the roles are reversed. It's always Purdue at the top of the heap. I'm taking the Hoosiers. Go Hoosiers tonight. And then I can't resist but go Bowling Green against Miami of Ohio.
Red Hawks.
Miami of Ohio just keeps beating my brains in. I don't know why they don't make their lines bigger, but they don't. So what are you going to do?
Well, tonight's
a what line did you have? I'm looking at the lines I have here. So like Florida and Ole Miss, what were you looking at there as far as the line goes?
9.
I just don't want to mislead anybody with a line.
I said, 9 is what I have.
Okay.
What is it?
On DraftKings, it's 12.5.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're making you earn it with Florida.
Oh, shit.
Making you
What's the Illinois spread?
Hang on. If that was is that a night game?
I believe
yes, it is. Okay. What do you have? What do you have for that?
Well, just tell me what it is, bro.
6.5.
All right.
Illinois.
What is the Iowa State?
That's the really night game, I think. Iowa State is 3.5. Yeah.
What is Providence?
I don't think they have that game here because
Okay.
it's not. It's the only ones they have up there are top.
Right. What about
Yeah,
Vandy?
for top 25 teams. So they don't have that game up there. Vanderbilt
Van-
is 3.5.
Okay.
And that went up, I think. Hang on. Yeah, I had 2.5 written down here. I just wrote this down like a half an hour ago. Well, now it's 3.5.
Well, people are listening and
All right,
getting
then.
on
I
board.
guess so.
That's
They
what
got
you got to
Dave,
do.
Dave showed up, bastard.
Yes.
I didn't bet it. And
Well,
then,
that's what we're dealing with, with these Friday. We're going to be doing our shows on Fridays as late as possible so we can get those spreads in.
yeah.
And
Yeah, they just put any game that has a ranked team in it tomorrow. They got it on the board on DraftKings.
okay,
Uh,
so that's what we'll be
yeah,
doing
and
from here
obviously
on out.
they can and do move. Um, St. John's is a big favorite. Staying away from that one. Um,
What about the
oh, you know what? I
Virginia?
got another bonus pick. Shit, I got another bonus pick. Although, God, I'd be going against one of the teams at the beginning of the year. I was really high on Virginia. I'm still high on Virginia. Just think this is too many points against Miami of Florida. So I'm kind of looking at Miami of Florida plus 8.5 against Virginia. Another bonus pick.
Boy, Dave, you're
Yeah, we're
like
all over the place.
like Christmas
We're covering
time.
the board here. Yeah, covering it. And they are on the road. Virginia is tough. Whatever.
But
That
they've been
UConn.
disappointing people. They've been disappointing bettors, those Virginia Cavaliers.
Oh, you know what I need to do? The UConn line. There it is. There it is. Yeah, that one's real tiny. That one's screaming to me in the old days. This is screaming to take Villanova. At UConn, ranked fifth, 2 national championships in the last few years, 1.5 against Nova. And Nova's been playing so well lately.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah, I like that one. And if
And
I'm wrong,
UConn does not,
I'm wrong. But
yeah, they don't cover on the
yeah,
road.
I got another one I
UConn.
like too. We talked about all these games. LSU against Alabama. Alabama with that 2 overtime game against Arkansas. Now they got to go on the road and lay points to a kind of a feisty LSU team. They screwed me
Really?
the other night against Texas. They came back in that game and well, they didn't win, but they covered. Getting a few too many in that one for me too. That would be another bonus pick. These are bonus. LSU, Miami, and excuse me, yeah, LSU, Miami, and Nova were not on my original list. So those are bonuses, folks. But hopefully we hit them all. LSU plus.
You got any more, Dave? I mean,
No, I'm running out of ideas here.
and we're running out of time.
My regular list, yeah, was Kansas, Syracuse, Vandy, Arizona, Houston under, and Michigan. Those are my 5. And then I added Nova, Miami, and LSU. Because it's an awesome day of college
It
basketball.
is. The
These
matchups are
good
fantastic.
matchups too. Yeah, really good. Really good. We took very few that have, I don't have any of these 15, 20-point lines here. Most of these lines are tiny.
Well, I'd love to see the Big Ten top team in the Big Ten going against the top team in the ACC. I mean, that's going to tell us a lot about, each conference. And I'm looking forward to that Duke Michigan game. And I hope you come out on top. I'm, leaning toward Michigan myself. So I'm with you. Now, what's that line?
That one is 2.5.
2.5 Duke, correct?
No. It's Michigan's favorite.
What?
Michigan's favorite, dude. It's great. I know. It almost sounds a little. It's making me take a much longer look at them. Now, the public betting on the game is basically 50-50.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a hard one.
It's a tough.
Yeah.
Duke favorite, huh? Okay.
At home.
Water. Oh yeah, I'm looking at it. Yep.